God will get you in the end. Sound familiar? Perhaps we've used these words or heard these words before. Let me give an example of this, what's behind this. Once Ibn Saud, the first king of Saudi Arabia, had a difficult decision to make. A widow demanded the death penalty of the man that had killed her husband. But the death had been accidental. Her husband had been standing under a palm tree, and a man had climbed the tree and fell off and fell on him and killed him. The king urged the widow to take the customary monetary recompense, but she refused. She wanted the man to die. So the king said, well, it's your right to decide for the death penalty. But I, as a king, have the right to decide how he shall die. So the king said, you must climb the same palm tree and jump onto the man who's beneath it, the one who killed your husband. The widow paused and thought about it and then said, I suppose, King, I'll take the money, okay? The readings are rich this weekend about this very theme. Today's first reading from the Book of Wisdom raises an ancient question. How are we to relate to those who do evil? In the gospel, Jesus responds with the parable of the wheat and the weeds. Now, our natural tendency is to sort, to separate, to decide who belongs and who doesn't, who's in and who's out, who's good and who's evil. But Jesus says, no, let them sow together, the weed and the wheat. Do not rush to condemn. Do not assume that you can always tell the weed as separate from the wheat. Some may reluctantly say, okay, that's all right for now. Let them exist for now, coexist. But God will get them in the end, I know. Yet that image does not fit easily with the God revealed in Jesus. The one who says, I did not come to condemn the world, but to save it. God's deepest desire is not punishment, but healing. Not retributive justice, tit for tat. You do the crime, you pay the time. But restorative justice, restoring one to their full stature. Not separation, but reconciliation. The reign of God often begins very small. A word, a smile, a gesture of kindness, a quiet refusal to judge, separate, and sort. Jesus was a rabbi. Jesus was a wisdom teacher who used ordinary things to reveal extraordinary truth. Seeds, weeds, yeast, bread, water. Through them, he warns us against spinning our lives, sorting people into categories. Like we know all these immigrants are the same. As Brene Brown teaches us very clearly, sorting is the easy way out. But Jesus calls us to something deeper. that all may be one. John 17:21. Perhaps the enemy who sows the weak is not only someone outside of us. Perhaps it's also our shadow self, the hidden part of us that is fearful, resentful, judgmental, and less than loving. We see that shadow at work whenever we try to remove people from our lives who we just would rather not have there, okay? We even try to remove people from God's love, condemn them, send them to hell. We often confuse the evil action with the person doing it. God doesn't do that. God condemns what destroys life, but never stops loving the person. And we know we cannot hold that kind of tension by ourselves. And so we're invited to allow God to do within us what we ourselves just cannot do. To resist evil without hating the evildoer. To seek justice without revenge. To recognize the weeds within us without despairing. And to trust that God's patient love is always working persistently, quietly, deeply, bringing us towards that beautiful prayer of Jesus in the 17th chapter of John. That all may be